Assalamu alaikum, namaste, and welcome everybody to the News Hour with your favorite host and host Jennifer Rogers. And if you are new to our channel, do not forget to share this video with all your friends and family so they are aware about all the things happening in Qatar and all around the world. And with that, we are also available on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, where we post a lot of interesting content and it's just for you. And do not forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is also called Qatar Day. And do not forget to check out our other channel, which is called qatarday.com. And with this, I have about two local news and two international news for you. So let's just get into it. The first one being now Metrash 2 allows automatic residency renewal as said by the Ministry of Interior. So Metrash 2 Ministry of Interior's smartphone app will now allow automatic residency renewal through a recent introduced concept which is called zero-click service for companies. So in order to benefit from this service, the company is only required to register in automatic residency renewal. Now there's a place on or a column where you just have to through Metrash app 2, and the service automatically renews the residency of employees and sends IDs to the company's location with human intervention. Now this was explained during an online seminar on Metrash app 2 service organized by the General Directorate of the Informative System, that was the GDIS, in cooperation with the Public Relation Department, the Ministry of Interior. Always happens to me. Anyways, so the Officer of Smart Device Session at the Electronic Service Department in the GDIS presented the advantages of the Metrash 2 service of citizens and residents and companies in Qatar. He said that the number of beneficiaries from the service has reached about 2 million users, and this application offers so far more than 220 active services. The Metrash 2 service is available in 6 languages, including Arabic, English, French, Malayalam, Urdu, and Spanish. It guarantees safe and encrypted services and supports most of the smart devices, with contribution to reaching the largest possible segments of users. He also explained during the seminar the procedures of the transaction that takes place during this application, such as sending reminder notices to the users about the expiration of the dates of the documents, the completions of government procedures, and handling errors automatically. Now, with regards to the registration requirement, he said that to enjoy the services of Metrash 2 requires a valid Qatari ID and a phone number registered in the user's name. So that has to be a prominent one. Okay. Now with this, let me get to the second local news of the day, which is kind of the biggest news that's happening right now. And I don't know if you guys are aware about it, but I'm going to tell you about it, which is now Qatar is going to provide COVID-19 vaccine for free to all of its population, as said by the Ministry of Public Health officials. So the Ministry of Public Health has decided to provide the COVID-19 vaccine free of charge to all Qatar residents, a top official said on Monday. Yes, this is confirmed. It is so true. It is happening for sure. Now, Dr. Al Khal, Chairman of National Health Strategic Group on COVID-19 and the Health Director of Infectious Diseases at Hamad Medical Corporation, was talking to Qatar TV. And Dr. Khal has announced on Monday that MOPH has signed an agreement with PIFSA and BioNTech to supply Qatar with the BNT16 mRNA-based candidate vaccine against SARS-CoV-2. Now, Qatar is seeking to ensure enough quantities of vaccinations over a period of weeks and months, and this is important for individual, public, and community health, Dr. Al Khal said. And he said that the MOPH is making great efforts to obtain the vaccine as soon as it becomes available, to gain it through contacts, including with the producing companies, the companies which are producing this vaccine. Okay, now according to the website of PIFSA, the vaccine would possibly be approved by the end of October to start from November this year after the successful clinical trials have been done. So what he said is, I expect that the initial amount of the vaccine supply to Qatar could be available in the country during December 2020 to January 2021 if things went well as planned, he said on Monday. He also said that the vaccine is approved based on the results of clinical trial that are now being conducted on 44,000 people in a number of countries of the world, and if it is proved effective and it is safe, then it will be approved and exported to several other countries including Qatar. Now he also said, we hope Qatar will get to obtain the first quantity of the vaccine at the end of the year or early next year, so that's either December or January. Now he also said that the ministry has contacted the pharmaceutical companies known for their distinguished products, and in the initial trials that the medicines are safe and effective. Discussion is to continue with number of companies. Dr. Kal said that PIFSA produced around 100 million doses of the vaccine initially, and as soon as possible in larger quantities it will be produced more. He strongly urged the people to abide with the COVID-19 precautionary and preventive measures recommended by the MOPH, including social distancing, which have been proved highly effective in containing the spread of the infectious virus, while the vaccines are not available right now. So this we need to do. And in addition, he advised people to avoid listening to false information regarding vaccines and other related issues circulating in social media without any verification. The MOPH will constantly update people on such issues with a valid and authentic information as soon as they are available, Dr. Kal added. So now with this, let me get to the first international update of the day, which is reopen now of face collapse as said by the people to Thailand. So the head of panel steering the economic recovery on Monday urged that the government to reopen the country in order to prevent it from collapsing, obviously economical issues. Now he said that despite the lockdown have been gradually eased 6 times, the country output will not improve unless the country reopens with all the precautionary measures. Now this year's annual GDP is predicted to fall up to minus 8 to 10%, equating to country losing about 1.5 to 1.7 million baht in single year. This is Thailand we are talking about. Now he said that although the government have spent more time preparing to reopen the country to foreign tourists under the special tourist visa, Thailand is effectively closed still. Now if Thailand could not figure a way to open its border for the upcoming season in the 4th and final quarter of this year, the STV scheme may have to be scrapped completely. Now currently tourism is an important priority for people in Thailand, and if the country does not reopen, it's hard for the GDP to grow because the country's economy depends mainly on the tourism industry and exports. He went to say that the Center of the COVID-19 Situation Administration has done well in controlling the spread of COVID-19 pandemic by maintaining 0 cases of the local transition by keeping the country closed, and has come to an expense of the economy right now. So Thailand has to open up, otherwise it's going to crash economically. Now let me get to the second international update of the day, which is Donald Trump says do not be afraid of COVID-19. Yes, he said that and he removed his mask and voila. Anyway, so President Donald Trump checked out of the hospital on Monday after 4 days of emergency treatment from COVID-19, pulling off his mask the moment he reached the White House and vowing to quickly get back to the campaign trail. Now, shortly beforehand, Trump had tweeted that Americans who have lost nearly 21,000 people to the virus have nothing to fear. A series of made-of-TV moments allowed Trump to squeeze the maximum from the medical discharge, starting by exiting alone from the large gold-colored front doors of the Walter Reed Military Hospital just outside Washington. Live on television, he then walked in a mask to the limousine, giving thumbs up before boarding the nearby Marine One helicopter for a quick flight to the White House, which he left on Friday after falling really ill. Now landing, he walked up the steps on the south portico stately balcony and dramatically removed demonstrably. He wanted to demonstrate basically something, and he removed his mask, saluting the Department Marine One. Within less than a month until now, November 3rd, election day, polls show Trump's behind the Democrat Joe Biden, and left scrambling even harder by his hospital. So he was hospitalized, so he has to really catch up on the campaign right now. The return to the White House was minutely staged, managed to show that he is physically fit, with a series of striking tweets demonstrating Trump's coming angle of political attack, that he personally baked COVID and he's now ready to lead the country on its own comeback. Now, what he said on his tweet was, "We will be back on the campaign trail soon. Do not be afraid of COVID-19, he said in another, claiming to be feeling rejuvenated after the illness. But the 74-year-old Republican's display of bravado came the same day as his own chief spokesperson tested positive for coronavirus, and the latest in outbreak raging within the White House. And despite his claims to be good in health, again a combination of White House secrecy, conflicting informations from officials, and the virus spread among his own circle damaged the credibility. Now, in the briefing from the hospital, the president's physician said that Trump is back, but also he said he's not entirely out of the woods for another week. It wasn't clear how free Trump would be for another move about in the White House, crowded corridors and small office spaces. The facility, however, has a medical team on its own which will monitor the president in the case of relapse. So, sickness around Trump is still going on. He's still not out of the woods. But guess what? He says he's fought COVID-19, and that we do not need to worry about COVID-19 at all. So anyways, I'm done with all the updates for today. Thank you so much for logging on to Qatar Day. Keep loving, keep supporting, keep watching Qatar Day, the pulse of the nation. Me, your host in those, Jennifer Rogers, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Same time, same place. Until then, remember, it's very important, as I always say, look after yourself, stay healthy, eat healthy, and take care of yourself. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Khuda Hafiz. Bye-bye.